If you've been following the events that are taking place in Zimbabwe, a lot has happened in such a short period of time. So many people who are watching, who are Zimbabweans, who have been struggling and suffering for a long time, their hope has risen a little bit. But the question remains, is this gonna yield anything different? Is this actually gonna happen? I mean, as I'm recording this video, it's the eve before the grand 31st March that has been planned. But the question is it actually gonna happen or produce any results? Because as usual, those that are in power have already deployed their weapons to make sure none of those things happens. And the real question really to ask is there any hope left? And to this I'd say hope is the only thing that a living human being can have, especially when you're suffering. The only thing that you have is hope. Otherwise, we might as well cease to exist, because uh, if there's no hope for a better tomorrow, if you are in a terrible situation and you're struggling and you're suffering, um, if you don't have hope, what is there to live for? So we cannot lose hope. Definitely, we have to keep our hope and our faith that tomorrow something will happen, something good will happen. It might not be in you and me's generation, but something good will come our way as black people, as Zimbabweans, as Africans. It might not happen anytime soon, because the problem is they have planted a bad seed in the country. Once you plant a bad seed in a field, and it germinates and it grows and it multiplies, it might as well destroy the harvest. It will destroy the actual crops that you intend to yield at the end of the day. And it's gonna be very, very difficult to uproot or to destroy or remove those bad weeds. The bad seeds were planted by those who have taken over power in 1980. They have planted a bad seed of using violence to keep power. So this bad seed will infiltrate through the system down to the last person, uh, to use violence, to resort to violence in order to keep themselves in power. So everybody else in that system understands that this is how we do things. Even if those who seemingly be new blood or new people coming in, they will come in knowing this is how the system works. The bad seed of corruption was planted from the top of the system to the bottom. Now it has reached every single person, everybody, even the common person in the streets understand that the way to go, and or the way for me to get something that I want, I have to be corrupt. Something needs to be paid somewhere for me to get a job. A certain bribe needs to be paid for me to operate a taxi. So the corruption, the seed of corruption has been planted from the leadership down, and it's now in everybody. It has its root in the common person, which is now very difficult to uproot. You're not gonna get rid of that overnight. We are somewhat 3 decades into independence, into this rulership, but I can promise you we might have 3 more decades in order for undo the wrong that has been done, undo the bad seeds that have been planted. When every police officer is deployed to the border, they know it's my time to get rich. It's my time to buy a car. It's my time to buy a house, because the seed of corruption has been planted and it is multiplied. Everybody thinks that way now. Everybody understands that in order for them to get what they want, this is the way they do it. The seed of undermining the democratic processes, the seed of undermining human rights, the seed of silencing opposition, the seed of killing everybody who raises up and raises their voice, the seed of thwarting the rights of citizens when they want to protest, they are met with heavy hand of violence and abuse. That seed has infiltrated. It runs in their veins and in their blood. You cannot get rid of that very easily. The seed of rigging the elections and undermining the will of the people, or manipulating the vote in order to keep themselves in power, has grown so strong, and that seed has multiplied and multiplied to the extent that the whole system is built of that. You cannot get rid of that so easily. The seed of stealing from the people. I mean, sometimes you ask yourself, if you are a politician, or say mostly even the presidents themselves, those who are in higher office, they actually have a lot of packs that they don't really need to steal on top of what they get if they were patriotic enough. But the seed of corruption is inside them. It's running in their veins now. They can't help it but just steal from the people. So in the meantime, the situation looks hopeless. When the electorate is not informed like these guys, there is no hope. In the near future, there is no hope. You know, when you look at this, it can tell you that these guys don't know anything. They are really, really uninformed. You know, there is someone who once said, democracy is useless if the people do not understand the values and principles of democracy. If the people do not have the civil education that is required, they might as well not vote, because it is useless for people like this to go vote. When you are rotting in poverty, you actually don't have any job, you don't have any source of income, you cannot educate your children, you cannot provide for your family, and you are given a food hamper, a bag of rice that you can cook 2 nights after 10 years or after 5 years, and then you start celebrating like this, and you say, "Who live forever, or politicians rule forever." There is no hope in the near future. When people are ignorant like this, they might as well not vote, because their vote means nothing, because they don't know anything. They can clearly tell that these people were born and raised in Mashonaland East, haven't traveled anywhere else in the world. You know the reason why they don't want to let the diaspora vote is because they understand one thing: as long as someone leaves the country and travels to a different part of the world and see what is going on there and compare what they have back home, they will see how useless their own government is, and they will not ever vote for them. So they understand that, and they want to make sure the diaspora doesn't vote, because really when you travel across the world, that's when you get to see that what we have at home is bullshit. You can actually see what it means to be free. You can actually see what it means to have a democracy. You can actually see what it means to have a prosperous nation. You can actually see what it means to have good governance. I can tell you, I feel sorry, to be honest, because of this ignorance. It hurts me deep inside, because these people don't understand anything. It is actually in their best interest that they wake up, but they actually don't. They stay in their ignorance, and be stupid and be fools. How can you celebrate a bag of rice which has come just because they wanna buy you, because there is now tensions that they feel the threat of being removed, so that they think, oh, let's just give them a bag of rice. They're taking you like an idiot. They are taking you for a fool. And because you are, if you fall for it, and you are, sorry to say that, you're actually a big fool, because you don't know anything and you don't understand anything. And it is ignorance that is purported because of the situation that exists. Henceforth, in the near future, the country seems to be hopeless. And if you go to any part of history, you would see so many terrible governments has stayed for years and years, decades and decades. In cases of Argentina, for years, Argentina struggled and suffered through different types of leadership, and because the seeds that were planted within the system were terrible, it's difficult to reverse that and remove that. So we might have our own dose of bad monarchy, of bad governance for a long time. But at the end of the day, we cannot lose hope. Hope is the only thing that we have. We can only hope for a good future, for a better future, and we keep on striving. We keep on striving. We keep on pushing. Do what we can, you know. And in these processes, so many people. It's so sad to think that so many people are going to go through a lot, especially those who go to the forefront and trying to liberate us from these tyrants that Africa has created. So many opposition leaders, journalists, activists are going to be killed. Some of them, blood is gonna be shed for us to be liberated again. We were liberated from the colonizer, or the oppressor, the white imperialists. Then the new oppressor came to town, which is our own fellow black people who have assumed offices and become leaders. And they decided to actually oppress us and not accept our rights and not develop our countries and just leave us to rot in poverty. As long as these bad seeds are still within the system, as long as that bad seed, the only solution really is to get rid of the whole system and have a new system of governance.